you immediately have 5 things you need to do that day. Whether it's the grocery store, the gym, take your girl out, take yourself out, it don't matter. You get a fresh cut, you gotta go places. Are we rolling?
Yeah, I just wanted to get in that 1 bit.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. Hello, YouTube. We got pull today, so we're gonna focus on back, rear delts, traps, and biceps. It sounds like a lot, but in a couple of the movements that I'll do today, traps and rear delts will be basically like the secondary to the primary for whatever I'm working. And then I'll do like one shoulder isolation, one trap isolation, whether that's like a rear delt fly, a shrug, basically a type of variation that's going to hit that muscle group. But other than that, I'm pretty tweaked out on pre-workout right now. Got the fresh fade, feeling good. Just warming up right now, guys. We're not doing anything too crazy. Just trying to feel through the movement, making sure, as I always say, I'm having intention with every single rep as I get into my working sets. We're getting the game plan from the coach right now. Finna get shredded. Something you should always tell your coach, I'll follow your guidance. If you get a coach that you trust and have a good relationship with, you need to be following what they say. They're not giving you a plan to just say, hey, maybe do this. Hey, maybe try this. They know what they're talking about. If you get a coach that you have a good relationship with and you trust their words, let them guide you. That's why you hire them for a coach. That's why I tell my clients, you need to give me 100% trust and I'll give you 200% of this effort. That's how it should always work. So I sent my coach a little voicemail. He sent me one back. He actually sent me 3 back, explaining why we should do this, that, and the third. All makes complete sense. I said, facts, I trust you, I'll follow your guidance. Get a coach, trust your coach. Got 12 with 190. I upped it by 30. So now the goal is to get 8 to 10. I don't really want to get back to that 12 rep range because I'm trying to push myself to essentially, as you could say, fatigue. Well, no, let me take this back. How do I explain this? It's almost like a pyramid setup, but I use the first working set to basically tell my body what's gonna be the set where I lock in and I give everything to it. Because I get about being locked in, but if you go to failure on every single set, true failure, after 2 exercises, you're gonna be done. And when it comes to back, listen, bro. When it comes to back, you wanna be hitting angles. You know, close grip, wide grip, high, low, medium, all the good stuff. So with this, I'm gonna go as many reps as I can, but the goal is to get minimum 8. I probably will tax around 9 or 10, because the last time I tried this weight, I was only gonna get able, 2 weeks ago, I only got 7. So, you just gotta kind of play around with things. I'm stuttering today. I've only got 1 meal in me. Typically, my training has been, I'm here at 9:30 p.m., leaving at 11:30 p.m. Today, we're here and it's 4:10 in the afternoon. So, several hours and less meals ahead of schedule. But, you know, you gotta get it no matter what. We got 8 full reps, and then it was like 2 partials. The reason that I still kept going and I got those 2 partials, for me, was I was still feeling a really high amount of engagement, even in that upper part of the range of motion. So even though I was only getting to like right here, I was still feeling, even here, everything flexing, contracting, and engaging. It's okay to get some partial reps in there. Just make sure that when you get the partial reps, you're still having really good technique and form. Because if you just swing that shit, you could hurt yourself. Quick little set. This is one of my favorite upper mid-back machines. I like it because the handles rotate all the way around. And they also have horizontal plane movement. So what that means is the handle doesn't just like stay in one spot. It moves with how you move. So this one we're gonna do a lot of volume on. We'll do 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps each. The weight will not move a lot because I'm still gonna focus on controlling the movement and getting the best range of motion as well as contractions as I can. And then also I'm trying to focus on controlling the eccentric. So when the movement is coming away from me, I'm trying to control that the most so I can still build strength as well as static strength. Last set, I switched up the grip. Instead of doing where I start like this and I end by my rib cage like this, I kept it like horizontally the whole time. Reason for that being is because I wanted to hit a little bit more rear delts and I can feel the stretch in my traps and rhomboids a little bit differently, not better, but just differently when I change the handle position. That's another thing with back training is play around with stuff. If it feels good, do the same exercise every single session for back. Just keep increasing the weight or the reps or hell, even sets. If you want to do 3 sets of 10 at 150, next week, do 3 sets of 12 at 150 or do 4 sets of 10 at 150. You know, try to add in another set. Do something that challenges you for progressive overload. The overload doesn't just have to be the weight. It can be the reps, the sets, the tempo. There are so many variables that you can change to increase the intensity in your training. And so many people come in here and they just do the same shit. That's why you still look the same 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 2 years from now. I love all y'all, but I'm gonna keep it real. If you don't push that intensity, you're never gonna change. You know? I'm just keeping it real with y'all, because at the end of the day, when I leave this earth, I want people to know that I kept it real, I was honest, I was true to what I said, and I did what the fuck I said. We're on the Prime Fitness row. Basically, it's a seated row just like what we just did. The only difference is this handle starts at a lower position and the seat on this one actually will adjust. The seat over there is supposed to adjust, but somebody messed it up. So with this, I have the pin at 7 because I'm still a pretty tall guy. So basically the way that I think of it is if I can touch the handle before I even start pulling, I'm too close. I want there to be an area where I'm still kind of like stretching. And then when I get in my starting position, there's about 3 to 4 inches before the weight stack touches each other. So that way, if I want, I can give myself an extra 2 or 3 inches of stretch and then really pull through. My belief is this: the bigger you can create a range of motion, you will recruit more of that muscle group area. If you do a row and you're just doing it right here, right? That's good. But then say I position myself a little bit like right here, and then I really twist into it, let it pull me out, and then I pull all the way through. That's like an extra foot of range of motion. I guarantee you're gonna feel it better, have a better pump, and over time see a lot more progress. That is if you're exercising and performing correctly. But with this, one of my favorite things is you can change where the load's at. So with this, I put it on pin 5. The reason for that being is because on pin 5, it's the middle and the beginning. So with the middle and the beginning being the heaviest, that means when I get to the very end, it's not gonna be as hard and I can hold that contraction a little bit longer. And then as I'm fighting it out, it becomes harder. So it's super heavy in the beginning and the middle range of motion, and then at the very end, it's a little bit lighter, so I can hold the squeeze. The reason I don't load the squeeze up as hard is because I'll just burn out and I'll do like half the reps, and then I'll just be doing partials, and at that point, I'm really just doing a glorified drag curl with my biceps. So think of how you want this to feel and engage, and game plan how your sets are supposed to look and feel and all that good jazz. So we just did 2 sets of bent over row. Had to lock in a little bit. The gym got busy and I don't really care to talk a whole lot when I start getting that anxious feeling, but we're doing one last set here. It's basically an underhand row, supinated. Mid, lower back is the target right now. We're gonna go for 12 to 15 here on the drop set. We just did 2 plates and a quarter. Now we're just gonna do a plate and a quarter. A little bit more control with some slower negatives. So let's get it. That first set on single arm row, where I'm trying to just target my lats, I was at 80 kilo, and I got 8 reps on each arm, but I'm gonna drop it. I put it at 65 kilo now, so 15 kilo less. The reason for that being is because on this one, I wanna get 10 plus on every single set. So over these next 2 sets, I'm going for 10 plus. It's 10 no matter what, and then whatever else I can get after that, that's what I'm gonna go for. But if I get 13 on the left, I'm shooting for 13 on the right. Sometimes it don't happen, but you always need to shoot for the same amount of reps. We're done with this. Now, we're gonna move on to a, well, damn. Gym got a little busy. I wanna go do some rear delt stuff, but the pec deck's taken. Every bench with the dumbbells are taken, so we're gonna do a cable. Second to last exercise to tie things up. It's going to be an upright row variation with like a middle bar. So I'm gonna get 15 on the upright row, and then I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna stand directly over it, and then I'm just gonna raise my shoulders up as high as I can for 10 reps. And each rep I'm gonna hold for about 2 seconds at the top, and then a second at the bottom. So it's gonna go 1, up, 1, 2, down. 1, up, 1, 2, down. So something along the lines of that. 3 sets of that, and that will fry the rear delts and the traps all in one. So we'll do that, and then the last exercise is just gonna be a traditional rope pullover to engage the rear delts and the full lats to finish off the back. I'm tired. My traps and my rear delts are on fire right now. But it's workouts like this, when I'm pushing myself and I'm getting uncomfortable and it hurts, that I know is gonna allow me to progress further in my lifts and also progress on how I look. I'm a body builder. I'm trying to build a body where I can strip butt ass naked and be extremely proud of. Go on a show, win shows, just be impressive to look at, and then also be impressive with myself to know that I worked my ass off for that physique. That's why I really do this. I really do this to impress myself and inspire others. So pullovers, no matter what variation you do, you always need to understand that pullovers don't create as much fatigue as most back movements do. Like a pullover is not gonna create the same amount of fatigue as a barbell bent over row or even a dumbbell row. So when you're doing this, you can do a lot more reps and typically more sets with it. But what I say do is either start and end with it or just end with it and do 2 sets at the very end till complete failure. I know I said don't do every set to failure, but when it becomes something that isn't gonna create a whole bunch of fatigue for you, you can actually push it a little bit further without going for an injury. Me personally, never seen anybody tear a lat on a freaking lat pull down. I'm gonna knock on everything because I don't wanna be the person. But with that being said, whenever you do your lat pullovers or pull downs, whatever you wanna call them, just remember that it's not gonna create as much fatigue as most back movements would. So push the failure a little bit more on these. Go for a little bit more, you know? Get some partials in there, hold it at the bottom, hold it in the stretch position, you know, mix it up and challenge yourself. I know y'all see me doing it with a straight bar right now, and I believe it was in, I can't remember if it was my last back video or one of them, but I was using a different attachment. Yes, I'm feeling my forearms on this a little bit, but in that other video, I was already starting, or no, I ended with lat pull down. So let me take back what I said. Yes, I'm using my forearms. Is it good to use your forearms when you're training back? No, you want to take them out as much as you possibly can, so that way you can just focus on your back and the secondary muscle doesn't burn out on you. But it's gonna happen regardless. With this, is more of a convenience thing. The gym is extremely busy, all the attachments are pretty much taken. So I use this for my rear delts and my shrugs, move it up, get right into the movement. Keep the intensity high, keep the pace strong. Don't slack. Don't dilly-dally and just trying to find something. If it's the same movement, do the freaking movement. Just get your work done. Get in, get out, go home, eat, sleep, manage your life. Ugh. All right, that's it. I was saying in the early start of this video that I was gonna do biceps, but I looked at my program. Always look back at your programs. And biceps are not on the menu today. So no biceps, we're done. Finna hit 20 minutes cardio, go home, eat, sleep, rest, and we out.